Breaking news here, blockbuster deal going down. Another season, another year that James Harden gets traded here. So he was only with the Brooklyn Nets about a season from last year to this year, and it just didn't work out for whatever reason. He didn't want to be with Brooklyn, and now he goes to Philadelphia with former GM when he was with the Rockets, Daryl Morey, running the day-to-day operation. So right here, blockbuster trade, huge trade here. The Nets give up James Harden for Ben Simmons, Andre Drummond, and Seth Curry, and a few first-round picks in this deal as well. I think a 2022 unprotected first-rounder, maybe a 2027 first to second-rounder is in this deal. So what a blockbuster deal this is. And right here, the Nets, they've been on a losing streak, 10 games in a row here. James Harden's been in the lineup. We know Kevin Durant has been hurt once again, and now they trade him to a division rival here to the Philadelphia 76ers. And James Harden and Joel Embiid, that's a crazy 1-2 punch in my opinion, with one of the best centers in the league and one of the best ball handlers and obviously guards in all the NBA here teaming up. So this Sixer team trying to take the next step. And right here, Ben Simmons, he hasn't played all season, and he wanted out of Philly. So now he goes to Brooklyn here, where obviously it's not that far of a travel to go there, but we don't know what kind of shape Ben Simmons is in. They've sat him out the whole season here, the first 50, 55 games of the year, whatever it's been, almost 60 games. And right here, James Harden, I think his scoring's going to go up with this Philadelphia 76er team, and the rest of the stats being good. So Harden, he's a stud for fantasy basketball, no doubt about it. 22.5 points a game, 8 rebounds, 10.2 assists, 2.3 threes a game, and 41% from the field. So his scoring and field goal percentage is definitely down from last season to this season, but now I think it goes back up over there in Philly, especially with a monster like Joel Embiid at the center position. So you got a great 1-2 punch. And I think this Philadelphia 76er team, they definitely have a great chance now of getting to the finals with James Harden, Joel Embiid, and Tobias Harris if he stays on this roster. And on that side of things, they get some picks, but also you get a young Ben Simmons here who was disgruntled, obviously, over there in Philly, and he didn't like the way the fans treated him. And him and Joel Embiid definitely had a fallout. So last season for Simmons, 14.3 points a game, 7.2 rebounds, 7 assists, and 1.6 steals a game, at 55% from the field. So we know Simmons can't shoot the basketball. That's always been the going joke and the problem for him. But he's a great athlete, no doubt about it. And he's a guy who can run the point. So I don't know if him and Kevin Durant could coexist as good as Durant and Harden did here, because Simmons is a guy that needs the ball in his hands, and obviously Durant and Irvin do as well. But Simmons here, he's going to report to Brooklyn, and we'll see if he's going to play right off the bat. Like I said, we don't know what type of shape he is in. We don't know where he is mentally, but both these guys get their wishes. Where Harden wanted to go to Philly after last season, he was trying to pull all the strings to go to Brooklyn, but that went sour quickly here, and now he goes to the 76ers. So Ben Simmons, obviously his fantasy value is going to bump up right off the bat because he's going to be playing where he hasn't played all season, and it's a great landing spot for him in terms of that. We know Durant's locked in, but Kyrie Irving, I think his contract's up in a year or two here with this net team. And Irving, he's still relegated to only playing road games. So Simmons, we'll see for reports. And the other parts in this deal, this net team, they definitely needed a real center, and they get it with Andre Drummond. So Andre Drummond, his numbers are definitely going to spike up over here in Brooklyn after he was playing the backup role all season to obviously Joel Embiid, but he's an expiring contract and a free agent as well. So on the season for Drummond, 6 points a game, 8.8 rebounds, 2 assists, 1.2 steals, and 53% from the field here for Drummond. So his numbers are definitely going to go up. I think you could pencil him in right for the starting center position. We know Aldridge is banged up. We know Blake Griffin can't take on the big minutes. And we've seen the games where Embiid's been out this season, Drummond fill in and put up a huge game, especially January 31st where Embiid sat out. He played 43 minutes, 16 points, 23 rebounds. So Drummond is a big double-double machine, no doubt about it. And his fantasy value definitely goes up here if he stays in Brooklyn, because he's going to get more playing time, and he's a true center, which the Nets really don't have. And Seth Curry, he could play anywhere, and he's going to be a great catch-and-shoot shooter for this Brooklyn Net team here in the corners, obviously, and to play with a Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and obviously Ben Simmons, who he's played with most of his career. So on the season for Curry, a solid year, 15 points a game, 3.4 rebounds, 2.2 threes a game, and 48% from the field with 4 assists as well. So Curry here, as long as he can shoot the basketball like he has throughout his career. This guy pretty much can fit anywhere, and his fantasy value should be the same. So the Nets, we know they swapped a lot of picks last season. We know they gave up the future in Karis LeVert and Jared Allen, but I think they get a decent package at least here for James Harden. Obviously, they're not getting all the draft capital that they gave away last season to get him, but right here they get 3 solid players and a few picks, so a big blockbuster deal here with James Harden for the second season in a row getting traded. First from Houston to Brooklyn in a 4-team trade, and now him to the division rival Philadelphia 76ers. And it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of the season plays out here for both teams and see if they meet each other in the playoffs.